on, faithfuls? The Nothing But Niners crew is here to overreact to a wonderful, wonderful game. The 49ers defeat the Cincinnati Bengals 41-17. We are here to talk about it. Before we do all that, before we get down to the nitty-gritty, we want to thank you guys for checking us out here on the YouTube page. If this is your first time here, please make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Also, make sure that you turn on your notifications so you know when we go live. All right. Make sure you check out the website. It is www.nothingbutniners.com. There you're going to see a bunch of great articles written by a bunch of great people. You're also going to see our social media pages there. Our Twitter and our Snapchat are Nothing But Nine, ERS. Our Facebook and our Instagram pages are Nothing But Niners. You can also send us an email with your 49ers game gear, your game day attire and everything. We have a page there dedicated to you guys just for that. You can send the emails to nbniners@nothingbutniners.com. Now, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's overreact. I got my man Anthony here with me. Anthony, what's going on, baby? How you doing?
What's going on, Mike? What's going on, Faithful? Man, what a great win. Lots to talk about. Very dominating performance on the offensive and defensive side of the ball. So let's get to it. There's a lot to discuss.
Absolutely, man. So, again, the 49ers blow out this team, man. I mean, it was just completely 41-17. And I'll be honest with you, they kind of took their foot off the gas about halfway through the third quarter. The 49ers could have really, really poured it on. They stopped throwing the ball. They just continued to run and run and run. And even with the running game, they were just like, they were still getting 7-8 yards a clip. My man NY to the Bay is jumping in here too. Mike, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's going on,
Mike?
So it's 41-17. The run game was going. We easily could have put up 50 on these guys. I don't know, man. I don't even know where to start. What do you think about Jimmy this game? I mean, we were worried about Jimmy last week and how he was playing and what he looked like, and here he comes this week. 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, 290 yards, 267 yards? 297. 297.
Like 300.
Yeah, it should have been 300 if they had kept passing, but they took their foot off the gas, man. You guys' thoughts on Jimmy Garoppolo? Let's start there.
Yeah, I would say he looked really good, minus 1 throw. That's the one that stood out. But yeah, most of the time he looked pretty comfortable. Like they weren't getting too much pressure on him. He barely got hit. He made mostly good throws, honestly. I mean, that one was a head scratcher, but I feel a lot more confident going to next week's game for sure.
Yeah, that throw into triple coverage to Richie James on the sideline, it was risky as hell. I don't know how he got it through and how it managed to touch Richie James on the hands. I saw some people saying, Richie should have caught that, but I prefer not to see that throw attempted in the first place. You know what I'm saying? What about you, Anthony? Your thoughts on the performance of our quarterback, man?
He was good, downright good. The interception was bad, and I think that's kind of what we can expect from Jimmy G at this point. I think he will take risky throws like that, and they may not always be good. But for him to bounce back after that interception and drive for another 2 passing touchdowns, that's fantastic. That's exactly what we want to see from him. And we've been screaming it all offseason, even after the first game, is we want him to be consistent. And he did that exactly. He had a very consistent day, finished 17 of 25. Other than that interception, again, it was an overall solid day for Jimmy G. And he looks back. He still has some kinks to work out, and I think that's okay. But he took 100 steps forward, and that's exactly what we want to see.
Yeah, man. I mean, we can stick to the bottom line right here. Jimmy Garoppolo and Kyle Shanahan are now a combined 8-2. I got no complaints. 8-2, right? Yeah, 2 today, 2 this week, 1 last year, and then 5. Yeah, they're 8-2. I have no complaints, man. I'm really, really excited about this football team. Now, there was a bit of bad news here while we're talking about Jimmy Garoppolo. Let's talk about that offensive line. They did look good today, especially in the run game. They held up very well, but we lost Joe Staley for the next 6 to 8 weeks with a broken fibula. What do you guys think the Niners should do? Are we trying to trade for a tackle? Do we just hit the waiver wires? I mean, what are you guys thinking here? Are we looking for what's the guy's name? Oh no, he got picked up. That Smith guy that we had, the tall ass guy, the tall tackle, he's gone. So what do you guys think the Niners do here?
I think they have to be aggressive, honestly. If there's somebody available, I think they should be aggressive. Trent Williams is the popular pick. I don't know if Dan Snyder will trade him to the Niners, but they have to explore that option for sure. They're 2-0. I mean, if they're going to make a push, they need to, be legit on the line. Who would you play on the roster if they don't pick somebody legit up? Because I don't feel comfortable with anybody playing right tackle.
Yeah, you heard Shanahan say Skule would have to be brought up, but like I said,
did you see him in the preseason though?
Yeah,
he looked lost. He looked absolutely lost. So putting him at right tackle, I'd be very nervous. Very nervous.
I agree. What do you think we should do, Anthony?
Yeah, it's a pretty nerve-wracking thing to go through when you lose one of your corner left tackles. There aren't that many trade targets out there on the market for left tackles because of how high of a position it is. Now, we see a lot of people screaming for Trent Williams, and as much as I would like that, when Joe Staley comes back, you can't just dump someone like him, or you can't just have two really good backups. I just feel like that's a waste of positioning. So I think they're going to roll with Brunskill and Skule. Skule played today. I have to rewatch the film, but I think he held up. We didn't hear anything about how he blew anything, so they might just roll with Skule. If not, the free agency market's pretty thin. The trade market looks like it's thin, especially if the Niners do decide to go after someone and want to overpay. So the options are thin, and I think they just might roll in-house.
Yeah, but it's tough to grade him today because they were running the ball pretty much the whole time once he came in. Once Staley went down, they weren't throwing. So,
yeah.
It's going to be a big difference there.
What we probably will see, though, is if McGlinchey decides to stay at right tackle, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of runs on the left side of the field are reduced. Because you see a lot of lead blocking with Staley, and if they do decide to play Skule or Brunskill on left tackle, we might just not see that happen. We might just see a lot of lead blocking by McGlinchey instead on the right side, especially if they don't have any confidence in Skule. The run game did look good, but again, it's all about confidence.
Sometimes the younger guys are better in run pro than pass pro. So you might want to see them going forward. And, you use guys like Kyle Juszczyk to go that way and everything. Drew Brees is out of this game already.
Yeah, I'm not too happy about it.
He injured his hand. Is he out? Like, he's not coming back?
He looks perfectly fine, so it's weird. Like, he was just standing on the sideline.
Yeah, but he was on the sideline without his helmet. That's
right.
I need them to win this game, and that's not
I need him to play. So
yeah. Damn, I got him in one of my fans. Oh boy.
Okay. Yeah, he's in my big money league here, so I'm hoping he plays, but it doesn't look good.
All right, let's get back to these Niners, though, man. Like I said, a lot of good things to talk about. Our second leading passer of the day was Dante Pettis. He didn't have any catches. I saw him on the field for 2 passing plays again, as a wide receiver, I should say. And then he had that throw for a 16-yard gain. What's going on with Dante Pettis, guys? We're here to overreact.
I really don't know, because imagine in a couple of weeks when Trent Taylor's back, Jalen Hurd's playing, is he ever going to see the field? I mean, I don't see why he's even on. He's not even doing punt returns or anything. So, I mean, the gadget play that I didn't really like anyway. I mean, that's pretty bad. It's looking pretty bad for him, honestly.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out if they were just trying to boost his confidence with that or what, but I can't call it, man. I don't know what the game plan is with this guy. Anthony, your thoughts on him, man? What's up with Dante Pettis?
He's fine, man. He got in the game and he completed the pass. He did his job. No, it's a tough thing to break down because you want to see your receivers and you want to see your guys be effective. And I guess you could say he was effective. Like I said, he did what he was supposed to do. Even when he played in 2 snaps in week 1, he got a catch. He did what he was supposed to do. But I get the whole point, though. You're a second-round pick. You have a lot of upside, and he's not showing up right now, and I think it's really concerning. I think the overall run play today and Deebo's effectiveness today, along with everyone else's, honestly saved how ineffective he was overall. But the fact that we didn't call him out for anything other than that pass play is extremely concerning. Now, do I think that when Hurd and Taylor come back, he's going to be inactive? I think he will. Pettis isn't doing anything, guys, and it's really bad. I'd rather see guys like Jalen Hurd and Trent Taylor get the chance to do something when they come back. And I love Pettis. I'm on the Pettis train. But if Shanahan doesn't believe in him, there's other guys waiting to be as effective and be more important than he's been currently.
Go ahead, Mike. I saw you wanted to
Oh
jump.
yeah. So like I'm concerned about him, and you would think that Shanahan would try to get him involved. You would think that they would do the reverses with him that Deebo was doing. Somehow get him involved in the game. And it's almost like Kyle just doesn't want to even do that. Like he doesn't want anything to do with Pettis at all. You could give him some confidence boosting plays, nothing besides that throw. That's it.
What is that? Is that music? Who is that?
That's not me.
That was my TV. My bad.
All right. No, it was just hard to hear Mike at some point.
Commercial.
But yeah, so you were saying that you would expect them to be using him for like some of those gadget plays that we were seeing with Deebo?
Yeah, or like short passes to him, just kind of some confidence boosting plays, but nothing.
Yeah.
He's fast enough to do those. He was doing, he was in motion. They just never gave him the ball. The couple times I saw him out there. I think Kyle is just biding his time until those other two guys come back, and I don't see him playing. Honestly, I don't see him playing.
Yeah,
I gotta agree with that too. At the least, I would have seen a Pettis screen pass, something just to actually get him the ball and get him moving. And that didn't even happen.
That's what I thought they were doing in that pass. I thought they were.
I was like, oh, okay, he's getting the ball. And then you look at the top of your screen, and they're setting up a screen down there.
Right.
It's like, oh, okay, Pettis isn't getting the ball. So I think it is really concerning at this point. He goes out. Shanahan goes out after week 1 saying, "Oh, that shouldn't have happened. Pettis will get more snaps." And I guess he got more snaps, but he didn't do anything. And I think this is more than just game script calling for him to not do anything. I think just Shanahan either doesn't trust him or doesn't believe in him, has no confidence. It's a lot of things, but he just doesn't look good.
And how y'all know Shanahan was lying last week.
Bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely bullshit.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Total BS.
What? He only had 2 snaps. No, I didn't notice that. Come on, bro. Come on, bro.
Better than that.
Exactly. Now we can see through the smoke screen and all that, and we see what it is, man. Now, during the broadcast, I didn't hear this. Was news to me. The commentator said Pettis showed up to camp overweight.
Yeah,
I heard that too. I heard that.
Where did that come from?
Out of shape.
Yeah. Did you guys hear that before that?
Yeah.
No, I didn't hear it before they said that. I don't know if that's the case. I don't think he's responded well, being motivated and all that. I mean, he's thin as hell, so I don't know. I mean, I think he's just kind of relaxed. Like he's not that alpha dog. It's never going to happen. He's not half of what Deebo. First game, Deebo's just running over people. Today, that one play that it was only for a couple of yards, but then he was just fighting for a couple extra yards. Dante's never going to do that ever. It's never going to happen. Yeah, that's why I didn't like the draft pick in the first place. Rewind the draft recap when I was on. I didn't like it. I wanted Sutton because I wanted the dog, but hopefully Hurd will come in, and show him kind of how to play.
Talk about dog mentality. When that guy gets on the field, oh my God! You guys think Deebo is a physical wide receiver? Wait until you see Jalen Hurd unleashed. That guy is a different animal all on its own. If Deebo is a dog, Hurd is a horse. Like I don't even know I don't know the parallel to try to draw, but Hurd is just a different breed of animal right there, man. Let's see here. Where else are we here? So the 49ers finished with 572 total yards on offense, man. 9 penalties again. Penalties are continuing to be a problem, and we're masking it with victories. In close games, these penalties are going to hurt us, and a lot of it are self-inflicted wounds. I did think that there was a holding call that happened today that was kind of BS. It was 2 holding calls on one team, and both of them were a little ticky-tack, and that's going to happen every game. But for the most part, it's a lot of offsides and self-inflicted. Jimmy Garoppolo with the false start, was the entire team off except him? Like, what was up with that? What do you guys think about these penalties?
Go ahead, Mike.
Oh, yeah, I was just going to say, I mean, they need to be more disciplined, period. Every time, I swear to God, every time there's a big play, touchdown or anything, I look at the bottom right of the screen, waiting for the yellow, marker to come up. I'm like, oh, okay, now I can clap. Every single time, because I feel like anytime there's a big play, there's going to be a holding. But, it's definitely concerning.
Yeah, I got to agree with that. I mean, as soon as you see the offense on the field and you just see a flag, it's like, all right, who got called for holding now? And I want to make the excuse that the team is still young and they're still working through kinks with very little playing time, even though it's week 2. But, I mean, there's some veteran guys getting called for holding. Staley got penalized a couple times. Lakin got penalized. Solomon Thomas got penalized, but that's a whole different story. So I think the penalties are concerning. I think it's something that will be worked out over time. But if we're in the 7 to 8 penalty range constantly throughout the season, then it's going to get pretty ugly, and they're going to start happening at key moments. I think we got lucky. Yeah, and I think we got lucky with the game like today where we were blowing them out when the penalties didn't matter much. But at the beginning of the game when you're making penalties and it's still close, that's all the difference between a touchdown, a field goal, or a turnover. So it's something that needs to get corrected. And I don't want to say it needs to get corrected right away, but improvements do need to be happening, and they do need to happen soon.
I agree. Now, did any penalties take any points off of the board today?
Yes. It was the one touchdown.
Yeah. Mostert, right?
Mostert, yeah.
Mostert had touchdown today.
That's right. I remember the commentator saying the 49ers have 4. Oh, Breeze is back in there. I remember the commentator saying that they had 4. Oh, wait, no, that was a replay. I'm lying. Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
The commentator said the 49ers now have 4 touchdowns called back this season on penalties.
I think it's 5. It might be 5 now.
I was going to say, you came on and said something about that, and you were like, got to be a league leading stat right there. So that was a little concerning there. Back to the players, though. We're going to go through the run game. And Matt Breida was an absolute animal today. 12 carries, 121 yards, 34 was the long. I mean, come on. This dude was legit averaging 10 yards a pop. 10 yards a pop. And that's not to snub your nose at anybody underneath him. Raheem Mostert, 13 carries, 83 yards. That's 6.4 a pop with a long of 20. And Jeff Wilson Jr., they just, no matter how good this guy does, the other guys do better when he's out there. And so it just makes him look like, oh, he's just another guy, right? But Jeff Wilson Jr. was actually pretty impressive. He finished the game averaging 3.4 yards a carry, 10 carries, 34 yards exactly. But you got to remember that he had those goal line carries. And so it kind of it kind of hurts the stats. You know what I'm saying? He had the 2 touchdowns. Breida didn't get in the end zone, neither did Mostert. Well, that stuck. And, so it sucks because Mostert's touchdown celebration is so freaking cool. That surfing thing.
Yeah, the one he got taken back, he was doing the surfing. It got
I love it, man. I freaking love it. But officially on paper today, oh, my God. Jeff Wilson Jr. was the only guy to get in the end zone. He did it twice. Are you guys concerned that Breida isn't getting in the end zone?
No, because it doesn't matter who scores as long as we score. Right. I like box score stats, and I like seeing guys put up numbers. And I do think Breida is deserving of goal line carries. But right now, it looks like all the confidence is in Jeff Wilson. And quite frankly, Jeff Wilson ran better today than Tevin Coleman has, even when Tevin Coleman was healthy. So it's like, I want to see guys getting in and getting the score, no matter who it is. Maybe later on, if Breida is getting goal line carries and failing, then that's something to talk about. But with how bad we were in the red zone all of last season, this is a ginormous step up for this team to be successful. And it starts with being able to put the ball in the zone. And that's what Wilson's been able to do. And it looks like he's going to be the go-to guy in goal line already.
Yeah, and he's impressive, man. He's a good guy carrying the ball out there. Breida is probably our most dynamic back as far as what he does. He had some moves out there today. We talked about it during the halftime show. Breida looked electric. But I'm going to tell you guys, I'm not sure that one guy can bring down Raheem Mostert on his own.
Dude, that touchdown by Mostert, that second gear he had was insane. He saw that hole. God, I was like, oh shit! Like that was the run of the game, honestly. Like, he just blew right by those dudes. I was so hyped.
It's funny on that play. I knew for sure he was about to get sandwiched between those two guys.
Nope.
And he had like a turbo pack on his back, man. He just burned him. Like split him right down the middle. I was like, holy shit.
I thought my stream like sped up or something because
I was like, is my TV behind? What just happened? He just flew forward.
All 3 of those guys impressed me a lot. It's gonna be hard for Coleman, like, just to come back. Like, if Wilson is playing like this week by week, I can't see him just coming in and taking that spot. All three of those guys, I feel like I could have ran today against the Bengals. All those guys were just crushing it.
And that defensive line is no pushover either. The defensive line is very talented by the Bengals. And the offensive – that's the thing is the offensive line balled out today. They absolutely balled out in every aspect of their game. They played very well. And we saw running backs hitting those holes, and they did it all. Raheem Mostert got over 100 all-purpose yards today. 2 of our running backs got over 100 total yards. That is something I would have never expected this season at all. So Mostert should definitely get more touches. He should probably get about the same amount of touches as he did today. Just like Breida and just like Wilson. Seeing this, quote, 3-headed monster of a running back field is unbelievable, is very dynamic. And if you look at the carries, we had more carries than we did passes. So Shanahan definitely took the pressure off of Garoppolo with throwing the ball, and that's okay. And I also get that a lot of that came off of garbage time too. But when you're running the ball successfully and you can take the load off your QB, that's all that matters. That's how you win games. Make it easy for your lead ball thrower and let the other guys do the work.
Right.
Yeah.
Raheem Mostert led the team in rushing attempts. And if I'm not mistaken, he led the team in all-purpose yards.
Correct.
As far as running backs go, I should say. He led the – well, I mean, you could say the team. He led the team in all-purpose yards. And part of my bold predictions, I said that he would lead the team in rushing, and he didn't. But he definitely had more yards than Matt Breida or anyone else total and more attempts than them. So it was –
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
Mostert had 151 all-purpose yards. 151 yards of offense off of him alone.
Our backup guy that people didn't want to see touching the ball.
He was only meant to be special teams.
Yep.
And he still played special teams.
Yeah.
And he still made plays on offense. This guy can do it all. Put him in on defense. I don't care. He can tackle.
Donald's leaving the game. Aaron Donald.
Ooh,
for the Rams.
That's not good.
Well, I mean, there was a lot to be impressed with this game. I will say I was almost most impressed with Shanahan. I mean, the play call in this game, besides a few, was genius. And the biggest thing for me was coming out of halftime, not letting up. They just put it to their throats. Usually we kind of like let them back into the game a little bit. There was nothing. They weren't giving up shit. And so I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, where are we at here? So we were talking about – Shanahan did a great job, though. He really did. The play calling was phenomenal. Even the bad plays that he called that made people nervous were positive plays. That's a good thing. That's a really, really good thing. People weren't happy about that throw that Pettis had. They thought that the Niners were getting a little cutesy out there and things like that, but it worked. It was a 16-yard gain. You know what I'm saying?
I just didn't like the time they called it. That's all.
Right.
It was like a minute to go in the half. But
are there trolls in here, or is this real?
What happened?
I'm seeing a lot of injury updates happening here. Tom Brady had an arm injury out for the season. No Roethlisberger.
I don't think. Well, maybe that one, but
Breeze out for the Saints.
Tom Brady, what?
Aaron Donald just left the field. Are these things real?
Well, Breeze is questionable to come back. Tom Brady is probably fine, and Big Ben didn't come back in the game, so that's possible.
Isn't that game over? Brady and
Yeah, both of those games are over.
Oh, okay. All right. So, okay. Here we go. What am I looking for here? So we had Jeff Wilson Jr. By the way, Jimmy Garoppolo scrambling today. Tell me you guys didn't see the swag and the confidence. And
he did that
all out there, right?
He did the hand. I was like, oh my God, this guy.
He was feeling it.
Still makes me so damn nervous though. Him just running. I'm like, oh my God, just fall forward, please. I can't handle it. But yeah, no, he was definitely hyped for sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And now let's get to the receiving guys, and then we're going to switch it over to the defensive side of the ball. Deebo Samuel again led the team with receptions, 5 receptions. This is, by the way, I like this. I like when our football team's leading receiver is a receiver.
Right.
I like that. It's a good problem to have. Don't get me wrong, I would love to see George Kittle more involved, but if George Kittle's more involved, I would still like to see a receiver be more involved. So
if we're going to be, if we're going to take it to the next level, we need somebody else to step up other than Kittle. If we're force feeding him, it's not a good look. We have to have somebody dependable game in and game out.
yeah, you are absolutely right, man. Deebo Samuel finished the day with 5 receptions for 87 yards and a touchdown. Some very clutch chain-moving catches that he had also. This guy he's exactly what we need. He's the jack of all trades. You can hit him downfield. You can hit him on short routes that can go deep. You can hit him with passes behind the line of the scrimmage and expect him to fight for tough yards. I mean, your guys' reflection on Deebo Samuel through 2 games, not just today, but through 2 games.
He's dominant. He is a dominant physical wide receiver that wins contested catches. He outmuscles people. He's very physical, and I'm not pointing out number 1 receivers because that's not really what Shanahan's offense is. But if I'm giving someone the most targets, it's going to be Deebo. The ball in his hands, no matter what he does, is just ridiculous. The guy can do it all. And once Jalen Hurd gets back on the field, I think going back to what Mike said, someone else who needs to do it outside of Deebo, I think Jalen Hurd can be that guy too. He has very similar tools to what Samuel can do. And if you have 2 guys on the field who can both pretty much do the same thing effectively, then the offense should be humming even better than how it was today. So overall, though, yeah, Deebo through his first 2 games have been extremely dominant. He should honestly be getting more targets than Kittle. And that's what I liked today was that Kittle didn't do too much other than run block. He had very nice catches. He's very efficient, 3 of 3, 54 yards, very efficient run blocking. I think he might have pass blocked very well also. But no, Garoppolo wasn't forcing him the ball. Kittle wasn't doing everything. And like you said, Mike, having a receiver actually finish with the most catches and the most targets is something we've been wanting to see all season and last season, and now we're finally getting it. And it's just a sign that Shanahan and this offense as a whole is evolving, and it's a great sign to see. It's something, again, that we've been waiting to see.
Yeah, absolutely. Mike, your thoughts, man. Deebo went out there and went off. He did have that one drop across the middle, and it literally when you watch like football tutorial catching videos where they tell you to put your hands like that and everything, it was right there.
It was. And it was.
He still dropped it, man. But other than that, man, he looked pretty damn good out there. Your thoughts on the young man?
I mean, rookies are going to have their ups and downs, so they're going to have those kind of slip-ups like that. But overall, I'm very impressed. He's legitimately the opposite of Dante Pettis, which is a good thing. I mean, he's all over the field. He's taking a lot of snaps. Yeah, he's tough. Him and Hurd will hopefully make a good combo there. Yeah, I'm pretty impressed, honestly. Mm-hmm. He's only getting better with every game, which is a huge thing. This is only the second game.
Yeah,
so.
I like it, man. I like it a lot. Jimmy Garoppolo overall hit 8 different receivers for the second time this year, and that's a really, really good thing to say. And when you hear that, he hit 8 different receivers, you would think that a lot of them would be the Raheem Mostert, the Matt Breida, and even the Jeff Wilson, right? But Jeff Wilson didn't catch a single pass from him. It was 2 running backs, 1, 2, 3, 4 wide receivers, a fullback, and your tight end. Those are really good numbers. They're spreading the ball around. And you know what I like about this the most? It's without his security blanket out there. This is without Trent Taylor. A lot of people said that this Trent Taylor injury was going to hurt the team. And in my honest opinion, it could only make the team better because it forces Jimmy's hand, and he can't rely on one person only. And when we were watching preseason and we were listening to all of the different things that was happening in practice, and you have guys like Grant Cohn who are charting the targets for these guys, it was so one-sided. It was Trent Taylor, a space, George Kittle, space, and then everybody else. And that's what he was looking for. That's who Jimmy Garoppolo was targeting. But now that Trent Taylor's not in there, he's being forced to spread the ball around, and we're going to start to see those benefits. And Shanahan can have a wide-open playbook like this, what we saw today. You don't see something like that if Trent Taylor is getting 12 targets a game because that's who Jimmy Garoppolo is comfortable with. You just don't see that. So I really, really like it. Your guys' thoughts on the 8 receivers, 2 games?
Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, I mean, we touched on Deebo. He's looked good. Now, it will be interesting to see who's going to be getting the most snaps when those 2 guys come back. Goodwin, gets open. Like, that speed is deadly, so you can't keep him on the sideline. Is he more of a specialty player? I mean, time will tell. But overall, I'm impressed. I'd like to have somebody step up, be more consistent. I think, it's just a matter of time that Kittle's going to have a breakout game. I think it's actually going to come this week against the Steelers because they usually give big games against the tight ends. But, yeah, overall, I'm pretty impressed. Nobody stands out too much besides Deebo, but, it's the second game of the year, so I'll take it.
Yeah, and it was definitely good to see Marquise Goodwin get back into the line of things. 3 receptions for 77 yards and a touchdown. He was wide open, and that was probably Jimmy's second worst throw. And when I say worst, it was that it didn't hit him in stride. He turned around to catch it, but there was no one within 15 yards of him. So that was great scheming there. I don't know how much you want to credit Marquise Goodwin with that. I mean, I'm glad he caught it, and I'm glad he finished. But I think it was Eric Crocker in the group. He was like, I could have ran that route because that was just scheme that put him open like that.
There was great scheming almost the whole game. There was guys wide open.
Yes.
Throughout the game.
And the comment I have up here is from Paolo. It says Kittle was used as a decoy today. The dude scares defenses. So, Anthony, when you respond to the 8 targets and everything like that, how do you feel about how they're using George Kittle and how they're spreading the ball around? What do you think about all that?
I think after week 1, Kyle Shanahan really noticed that if he's going to force Kittle the ball, defenses are going to key on Kittle. And I think that was what the Bengals were trying to game script the whole time on defense, was trying to lock up Kittle. And they really didn't do that because on Kittle's 3 targets, he made 3 catches. And so when you're keying in on your playmaker, that should most likely open up other people on the offense. And that's exactly what it did with guys like Goodwin, Deebo, Mostert, and so on. So I think I strongly agree with what Paolo is saying here. They used Kittle as a decoy. And that I'm fine with that. Like I said, it's like going back to what you're saying about Breida not getting goal line carries. If they can get the most out of any of their players, and including what that means as using Kittle as a decoy, then that's totally fine with me. I want to see guys opening up. I want to see guys being more effective, guys getting the ball in their hands and doing jobs, and that's exactly what they're doing. So, yeah, I think it's okay to use Kittle as a decoy, and like what happened today, it worked. It absolutely worked. So I'm fine with that. And the last thing too is if game planning calls for Kittle to get the ball when it matters, I think that's what's going to happen, and Kittle will still be effective. So he was used very well today. Very, very well.
Absolutely. I love the way that they used him today. They didn't make him have to be the man. He was used as a decoy. He was used as a blocker, a lead blocker on some big plays that we had. It was very good usage of George Kittle and all of the various things that he brings to the team. So now we're going to move this over to the defensive side of the ball. Last week, we know that the defense was the MVP. Again, only 17 points allowed. And then this one was really, because of a couple of missed tackles down the stretch there, it really should have only been 10. But that John Ross play where he just bounced off of guys and they couldn't wrap him up. And once he got it past everyone, you're not catching John Ross. He's probably the fastest guy in the NFL. I don't mind saying that. But I digress. That man was moving. So that's going to happen. What do you guys think of the defense here? Let me give you some numbers really quick. The Bengals finished the game with 316 yards of total offense. And that said something because they were down for a large majority of this game. It started out 7-7. They got the turnover. They went down to kick the field goal. They missed. And since that point, they were pretty much trailing. The Niners went down and scored again. Then the Niners went down and scored again. Then we had our first punt. Then we scored again. And then we scored again. And before you know it, the game was just completely one-sided. It was 34-10 heading into the fourth quarter. And that forced the Bengals to throw a lot. So they finished the game with 291 passing yards, but a whopping 25 rushing yards. talk about your defense, fellas. That defensive line showed up today, and they showed up good.
Oh, yeah. I was super impressed by the whole unit for the most part. The one person I want to, that's a standout for me is Quan Alexander. What he has brought to this defense is absolutely insane. The energy, you could just feel it. You could see on the sidelines. Him along with Sherman, dude, I was loving it. They were everywhere. They weren't threatened at all. You could tell. You could absolutely tell they didn't think anything of Andy Dalton. They didn't get home as much. Like Bosa, got close a couple times. Would they have 4 sacks? I think.
Yeah, 4 sacks.
Our defense had 4 sacks today. Yeah, you had DeForest Buckner getting 1, which I predicted. I thought he was going to get 2, but whatever. You had not Quan. I'm sorry. Ronald Blair had 1. DeForest Buckner, Eric Armstead, and
Solomon. I think it was Solomon, right?
Yeah, Solomon also.
Yeah, Solomon Thomas had 1.
I mean, besides that penalty, Solly looked okay today, honestly.
Well,
he did something. He finally did something.
Right.
Step in the right direction.
The bar is pretty low, but
I'm not even going to give him as much credit as you guys are. That sack was a coverage sack, number 1. Number 2, he got destroyed when they snapped the ball. And then if it weren't for Dalton scrambling towards him, he wouldn't have been in the play in the first place. But I mean, it's all good. I'm not going to like diminish what he did. I was happy to see him not line up 3 yards off sides again. So, I'll take it for what it's worth. He was decent in the run game. I will give him that. And so, that's what I saw.
Are you guys concerned with D Ford?
Yeah. So what was it? An ankle injury or something like that for him?
I think it's knee again. Isn't it?
I heard knee. Someone in the chat said quad. Either way, it's a lower leg injury. And I think that's what we're going to be dealing with Ford for this season. He is kind of injury prone. He was injury prone in Kansas City. He had some hip issues. He had some back issues. Now he has knee tendonitis. So he's going to miss some snaps, and it's okay. I just don't want him to miss time when it matters most. And I think that's what I want to get into, is that when Ford came off the field, the pass rush was still effective. And when we did our overreaction after the first half, I was saying that the team needs to get better pass rush because the first half wasn't that good. It was the first sack on the opening drive. And then that was it. The pass rush was pretty quiet. So they step up in the second half without D Ford. And that's when it really matters most. Think how Dalton threw that interception right to Quan. Quan was covering his man very well, and Dalton just threw a terrible ball. He was running away from the pass rush. So I don't think D Ford's injury is too concerning. I just hope he doesn't miss time. But seeing that the rest of the guys who stepped in for him do a fantastic job of getting to Dalton, that's huge. That's absolutely what matters. And I get that we did give Ford a lot of money. But again, if we have guys like Blair and Armstead who are going to be balling out and who will be effective, albeit in contract years, that's all that matters. We need guys to be effective on that defensive line, and that's exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, man. Yeah, these guys are out there working and trying to earn that next contract. You know what I'm saying? Ronald Blair was extremely impressive today.
Oh, yeah.
Extremely impressive. Disruptive in the run game, in the passing game. A lot of pressures applied and got the sacks. And I love seeing him do his I'm kicking down the door celebration. Boom. I love it, man. I absolutely love it. I see Silverado Kev is popping in here. What's going on, Kev? How you doing, man? Oh, he's celebrating. Kev, you should have came on like
Let's go.
What it do, baby?
What's poppin', huh? What it do, baby? Huh?
So, real quick, a few people in the chat saying it's quad irritation for Ford. So if it's just something flaring up, it doesn't sound like he's going to miss any time. So that's good. That's definitely positive.
Yeah, there you go. Absolutely, man. Let me see. What other
So here's the question.
The leading tacklers on the team were Ronald Blair and Fred Warner. Quan Alexander was behind him with the only interception of the day, man. I know Mike said it already, but Quan Alexander has been an absolute lightning rod. Just the energy, the passion. And, they went to right before halftime, you know how they do like the little montage, the slow motion plays that happen, right? Every defensive play that they showed for the Niners, there was somebody celebrating with somebody else. No one's celebrating on their own anymore. There's none of this me stuff. It's like a team out there from these guys. You know what I'm saying? Like they're out there and they're working hard and they're doing it all together. You know what I'm saying? We got a message here from Jonathan Rose that says, love the three-headed monster we have at running back. Fun game to watch. We have a three-headed monster at running back, and that's without the two guys that they paid the most money to. Think about that for a second. Let that sink in. You know what I'm saying?
Go figure.
What do you guys think is going to happen when they come back? Are we just going to be like, all right, guys, see you later? Tevin, you can go back. Raheem Mostert, thanks for your service. We don't need you anymore. Like,
that's what I was saying before. It's going to be very tough if they keep playing the way they did today to just have Coleman just pop back into the game. Both those guys look legit. So I'd be kind of pissed if they just gave him, all the reps again because he didn't look that great, So I don't know. It's going to be tough.
I don't know what the implications are for releasing Tevin Coleman, but either way, Coleman wasn't on an expensive contract. So if he does get cut or released, I'm not going to trip that much. Again, our running backs were extremely effective today. They did their job and they got the job done. That's exactly what matters. And like I said, Jeff Wilson outperformed Coleman if Coleman was healthy, and I think it would have been the same. So I'm sorry, but I like Coleman a lot. But if our three guys are going to be as effective as they were today, then Coleman honestly doesn't need any time. Same probably applies for Jerick McKinnon too.
Oh yeah. Well, you all know how I felt about McKinnon. I'm not going to dive into that.
I don't think he's ever going to play it down.
What was that?
I don't think McKinnon's ever going to play it down for the 49ers.
Well, I can tell you this. I think his injury guarantees a roster spot for next year. He's got to get a roster spot. Otherwise, just do an injury settlement and let him go. But they're going to wait for his he's going to – I can't say he's going to make the 53, but when the final cuts come, if he's not healthy enough to dress week 1, then I can see them cutting him. If he doesn't take a single snap, but they think he's going to be ready for week 1, then they're going to keep him, and we're going to see what he can do before they actually cut him.
I think they'll give him a shot during training camp, and if he doesn't impress, he's gone at the final cuts, in my opinion.
Personally, I'd rather keep Coleman than McKinnon anyway.
What was that?
Yeah, I'm saying I'd rather keep Coleman than McKinnon anyway, to be honest. That's just me.
You'd rather keep him?
I'd rather keep Coleman and McKinnon. I take Coleman over McKinnon.
Over McKinnon. Okay. I see what you're saying. Now, what about what you're seeing from Jeff Wilson Jr. and from Raheem Mostert?
Oh, now see, right now, that three-headed monster we got right now, I'm with that. But see, now knowing we only dress three backs each game, I think it'd be a toss-up. Okay, this game you go, this game you go. You know what I'm saying? I would love to keep all 4 of those on the active roster, but just one don't dress every other game, something like that. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But Jeff Wilson Jr., man, that's my guy, man. Yeah, that's my guy. Wow. Yeah.
I like it, man. I like
the rest of the league is on notice. We back.
Oh, yeah. 2-0, baby. 2-0, heading back home. And the Niners, man, this box score, these stats, man, I'm just looking at some incredible stuff, man. 313 passing yards, 259 rushing yards, 2 rushing touchdowns, 3 passing touchdowns, 5 touchdowns in one game from the 49ers. When the hell was the last time? Like this, and it was all spread out. It all looked so easy, too. There was never a point in the game where I was like, man, we got to really knuckle down here and tighten up. You know what I mean? Like there was never that point where I felt worried about anything. So, like it's I don't know, man. Are you guys concerned about anything from this game? What are your biggest concerns from this game?
I mean, from the game itself.
40-yard field goal.
Did he say Robbie Gould missing that field goal?
Yeah, he missed a 40-yarder.
Go ahead, Mike.
No, I was going to say, I mean, the biggest standout and concern is Joe Staley. But if we're going to go just to the game, I mean, there was just so much good things. Nothing really stands out, honestly. I mean, it was just a well-performed performance, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, I can nitpick.
Yeah.
I can nitpick
Yeah.
if I want, but
Are you guys all right? Well, Kev, do you have any concerns from this game before I start throwing stuff out there?
Even though Joe has lost a step and things of that nature, losing him, that's my concern. Like, okay, what's our plan moving forward to compensate for that? Because, what's up on his school, or whatever his name is, no disrespect to him, but I don't know if we can, I don't know. What's the answer now? Like, who's going to play left tackle,
Right.
effectively? You know what I'm saying? I damn sure throw some money at Trent Williams, or at least look into it. I mean, how can you not look into that?
So we were talking about that earlier, and the conversation basically came up with if you bring in a guy like Trent Williams, what are you going to do with Joe Staley? Because you just extended Joe Staley. So what, you know what I'm saying? If you bring him in here, then what happens? You're not going to give all that money to somebody and have him sitting down the whole time.
Okay, but true enough, but can we go that long without having a stout answer at the left tackle? Hell no, especially knowing we paid Jimmy all that money.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, we got to do something and fast.
Mike, I actually got one concern, and shout out to Tim Walker in the live chat for pointing it out, and I totally forgot, but K'Wan Williams was burnt toast today, man. I like K'Wan a lot, but he did not play well. And I know we're getting really nitpicky about this because the Niners played very good overall. But if we have anyone to point out on any side of the ball, it was K'Wan, guys. He just penalties, gived up catches, missed tackles, and it goes on. And K'Wan just didn't look good. I don't know how you guys feel about him. Maybe it was just an aberration because the Niners blew out the Bengals. But at least for me, there would be some concern with K'Wan because of how bad he played.
Yeah.
Other than him giving up cheeks in coverage, like, how was he bad? I mean, I'm not understanding. Like, other than him giving up a couple catches in coverage, you know what I'm saying? Like, how was he bad? I'm trying to figure that out.
No, I was definitely concerned with him too.
well, he had that standout series that he got torched. That one possession he really got torched for sure. So that is a concern.
I mean, but overall, man, he's a big addition. He is, especially
What
in
up,
the run
Jay?
game. You know what I'm saying?
What are you eating over there, Nick?
Bro, I had to get some food. This is the first I've ate all day.
I can hear you
No.
chewing, bro.
I'm waiting to see some fried Bengals. That's what he eats.
I've been drinking all day, haven't eaten a single thing.
So what was the atmosphere, man? Break it down, man. You were the eyes and ears over there. What's up?
Yo, first off, I gotta tell you, I killed my phone because I thought y'all were still live when kickoff went off, and I recorded everything until like even the touchdown, everything. I was still sitting in the room by myself.
I told Mike, I was like, yo, Nick is going to be mad when he realizes that the broadcast ended and he's still over there going. But you couldn't hear us saying that we were wrapping it up, so there was no way for me to signal you.
Well, what happened was I saw you switch the screen. So I saw you trying to switch the screen, and then it went to me. So I wasn't sure if you guys were still there because I can't see who's in the background. Excuse me. You can't see who's in the background. So I thought you were still there just watching. And then I look up, and I was like, oh, it ended. I like burned through my battery.
Yeah, man.
But
yeah. So
dude, the atmosphere was crazy. I don't know if you guys can hear us with the defensive chants. The defense on TV.
Oh, wow.
It was so loud throughout the stadium, man. Like it was crazy loud. It was actually pretty hot out there today. Nowhere near Florida, but it was definitely hot. But probably my whole section, probably maybe 10 Bengals fans in my section. And that was all the way around. The second tier of the stadium was very, very limited to people. And the third tier was like very limited to people. At the end of the game, Richard Sherman was the only one that came over and acknowledged the fans. And I was sitting I ended up getting to row 1. There was no Bengals fans, so we ended up sitting right at the field level. So we were in row 8, but we moved down to row 1. Just the atmosphere, man. I got tons of videos that I'm going to post of all the Niner chants, the team actually taking over. So fill me in on Joe Staley. I saw that he left on the thing, but my phone died. I saw something about a fibula break, but I wasn't sure what it exactly was.
Yeah, that's what it was.
They're saying 6 to 8 weeks.
He got his lower leg kicked and broke the fibula on a run play. So he's out 6 to 8 weeks. And Shanahan said he's not going to put him on the IR designated to return because he doesn't think that it's going to take the full 8 weeks. So I don't know.
Is it just a fracture, not a complete break?
No, the report I saw said break. So I don't know. I'm not sure that they've actually had the test officially run yet. So
seems pretty quick for the official testing.
Right. That's what I was going to say. By the way, guys, this portion of the Nothing But Niners show is brought to you in part by Nick and McDonald's. Have you had your break today? Ba-da-ba-ba-da. I'm loving
Leave me alone. Bro, I'm so hungry. It's not even funny. I don't have any voice. And Izzy, who came here with me, is in a different terminal. And we flew in this morning, got the rental car, drove right to the tailgate, started tailgating, went right into the game, drank, I don't know, I only had like 2 or 3 beers, I guess. And then as soon as we got back here, we split up again, different terminals, and we both got to grab something to eat because we haven't eaten all day. So I was like, I got to get some food in me.
Yeah, no, I'm not mad at that at all, man. So we were talking about we pretty much went through most of the game already. Robbie Gould missing a field goal. He has missed 2 this season so far. Now, when we reflect on Robbie Gould at the end of the year, we're not going to remember that one of them was a 57-yarder that they tried just for shits and giggles. This one was a 40-yarder. Are we concerned with Robbie Gould and his 90% average being at risk? Come on, guys, overreact with me.
Yes, I gotta say yes. He missed an easy field goal for him. We paid him to make those field goals, and he missed.
No wind out there.
I wanted to be up 44-10, and I couldn't get that. I'm a really disappointed fan after that. Slightly concerning. I mean, I don't care what the score is. If you're given that opportunity to make a kick like that, you should make it. And it's not like he overshot it or anything. He barely missed it. But still, those are kicks he should be making. And obviously, it doesn't matter too much when the Niners blew him out. But it still kind of matters to me that he missed something that he normally makes with consistency. So, slightly concerning. A lot of overreaction. Not too much, though.
Yeah, man.
I don't think he was bad enough to say cut him or nothing like that. I mean, he pushed it right. Should he have made it? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? In a game where we were down by a field goal or a field goal would have won it, yeah, it would have hurt a whole lot more. But someone cutting him, nah, man. I mean, shit. Jimmy threw.
Yo, I want to talk about one play, and I don't know if y'all talked about it yet or not. But the Mitch Wishnowsky punt to the 2-yard line. Did y'all talk about that?
Oh, yeah.
We talked about it at halftime. We did.
Yeah, dude. That ball was like DJ Reed hauled ass. I think it was DJ Reed, right?
Yeah, it was.
At the opposite end zone. So
yeah,
that was amazing. I heard Anthony or somebody talking about K'Wan Williams,
and he caught it. And he caught it out the air.
Yeah,
that was a beautiful catch
with his hands.
But what else was he? What was you smoking?
What?
He said he caught it out the air with his hands. As a he
went up and caught it with 2 hands. Like, yeah, okay, I got it.
He said that was his ball.
What?
He used these, man.
That's crazy. I can't believe he used his hands. He should have used his knees or his feet.
Right. That's how I catch footballs. You know what I'm saying?
He got 2 feet down. He looked like a wide receiver. Put that guy out there more. That's the boy.
You know what the most upsetting thing about this game was to me? That we didn't get 600 scrimmage yards.
That's a I mean,
it's a good problem to have.
We were trying. You know, and honestly,
Say what?
So how dare he use his hands? But my point was, ain't many returners use their hands to get the field a punch. That was awesome. It was dope. And he was running when he caught it. You know what I'm saying?
DJ Reed toe tapped right before the end zone too. I thought he was making the sideline.
Swag.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, Nick, something we were talking about before you jumped on here was that, Shanahan could have hung a 50-burger on these guys. We probably could have finished the game with 700 yards if he wanted to. Like, if this was a shootout, Shanahan was ready to play today. He was ready to play.
Easily. I don't know if you guys said any standout players, but Fred Warner played crazy today. He had to have 7 or 8 tackles. I mean, he was everywhere. I don't know the exact numbers. He only had 4?
Yes, sir.
You sure?
Yes, sir. He only had 4 tackles today. Now,
how many Quan had? How many tackles Quan had?
3.
That was it?
Nah,
so
dude,
he was all over the place too.
No
way.
Quan had 3 solo tackles. Quan had 3 solo tackles. He had 6 total. 6 total.
Right. Quan had 3 total. 3. Is that
3
the solo? Hold up. I got the couch pulled up in front of my
Period. Quan had 3 solo tackles, 6 total. Warner had 4 solo tackles and 7 total. So yeah, I agree with Nick though. Warner looked really well. He's a tackling machine. When the guy is given the opportunity to make a play and hit someone and wrap up, he will do it, and he does it very well.
Look out the window. The police pulling up.
Like I said, it's not easy to get solo tackles in the league, and Warner can do that. So he's a baller, Nick. I agree. Warner had a really good game on defense.
Yeah, he had an excellent game. I mean, from what I saw, the one who stood out the most to me is the guy that I really, really love. But he got burnt a couple times, and you were talking about it was Kawan Williams.
Mm-hmm.
There was 2 times he got beat off the line of scrimmage on a quick slant and just got ate up. But other than that, man, the defense looked solid. The pressures looked good. I don't know if you guys could tell on TV how close we really were. How many pressures did Bosa end up with? 4 or 5?
He had quite a few. He definitely had quite a few. It felt that way, no doubt.
Well, especially the one that led to the Dalton interception. He was in his face.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Bosa was right there. Yeah.
And Akello should have had that pick 6.
Yeah, and then he kicked the ball.
Yeah.
Hey, was that a nice kick though? When he kicked it, was that a nice kick? Yeah,
he probably would have made the 40-yard field goal that Gold
did make. For Robbie's job. He's the backup. Pettis is going to be QB2.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm telling you right now, next week at the home opener is going to be epic. And that stadium better be loud, bro, because the energy that I felt in 2 away games, Levi better match that energy next week because the energy here in Tampa was amazing.
Yeah. How did the faithful show up in Cincy? Was there quite a few people?
Bro, it was everywhere. It was everywhere. The invasion was huge. Like I said, I'm going to upload some videos later. Once I get some charge on my phone, I'm finally at 20% now. But they were everywhere, dude. In my section, I swear there was probably only literally maybe 10 Bengals fans. I had the whole stadium sing the Bye 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 song again. We all did the all gas, no break. We did the Go Niners. We did the defense chants and took over. And we were all standing, and the Bengals fans were all sitting. It was crazy.
Yeah, it definitely looked that way on TV too. One big play I want to ask if you remember it, Nick, and I want to get your thoughts on it. Richard Sherman ran stride for stride with John Ross, and Dalton didn't throw the ball well to him, but Sherman ran stride for stride right with Ross. I want to get your thoughts on that because that was really impressive. Last season, last season, Sherman kept up with Tyreek Hill pretty well, and he does it again today with John Ross. So I want to get your thoughts on that. He looked pretty damn good.
I'll tell you what, from last week, compared to what I saw from Sherman last week, he looked like a whole different dude today. And what I mean by that is, and Akello obviously as well, he was in pocket to pocket with everybody he was in coverage with. Akello has come a long way. But Sherman, he's not doing that twist turnaround that we've been talking about so much on the show. He's literally quick jab and staying right with them, no matter where they're at. Last week, he didn't do that. it looks like he went and corrected some things that coaches saw on tape. Because last week there was times he got burned. This week he was literally in his pocket, literally every single time. Yeah, Sherm played a hell of a game today, man. He really did. You may not see it on the stats, but he really played well today.
Yeah, it definitely felt like the receivers throughout the game were getting locked up. And Dalton was hitting some decent throws. He threw for over 300 yards. But overall, it felt like our DBs were doing pretty damn well. And a lot of that is attributed to the pass rush. And that's another thing, too. Ronald Blair seemed like one of the biggest standouts of the day. Another guy I want to ask you about. How do you think he did? What was it like out there?
I heard at the end. I couldn't hear what you said. Just
Ronald Blair.
Oh,
Blair balled out
today, man. He balled. The kid was everywhere. He looks like his bull. Actually, I'm a big Ronald Blair fan, but his bull rush looked a lot better today compared to what I've seen in years past, like coming up. So his bull rush looked good. His power, his actual footwork. Because I watched him a lot. Because every time they were facing, the defense was facing my end zone. He was on that side. So I watched him a lot today, and him and Bosa rotated a lot. And Blair really, really played well today. Especially, I mean, his effort was really good today too.
Yeah, it definitely felt that way. And again, talking about effort, everyone on the defense put in 100% effort, and it felt that way. Mike said earlier in the video that the defense isn't about me anymore. They play as a unit and they play as a team. The chemistry is there, and a lot of that is attributed to guys like Sherman, Quan, who are stepping up, being leaders, and even the young guys too, like Bosa, like Ford, like Warner, stepping up and being that guy and being that dog out there on the field. And right now, we're seeing a ton of dogs, guys. We're seeing a ton of dogs just absolutely crushing teams and getting the job done.
So let me tell you something else. Since you're talking about chemistry with this team, right? During commercial breaks, the defensive line would get together and talk, and the secondary would get together separate and talk. And you would see DeForest Buckner pulling Nick Bosa over a lot and talking to him one-on-one and helping him. They were talking to each other about what was going on the field. So it was pretty interesting to see how well they've come together. And the same thing with Richard Sherman and Okello. Okello looks to me like he's starting to take leadership of that secondary as well. The way he was talking during commercial breaks with people, it was really, really insane.
That's a big stamp there that you put on him, taking leadership of the secondary. Okello, he's one of the most quiet guys in the team, and it's not that he doesn't like to speak; it's just his demeanor. He's a very reserved guy. We watched that presser from earlier this week that came out with him talking, and it was literally the first time I've ever seen Okello Witherspoon laugh. You know what I mean?
Smile, right?
Yeah, he laughed in the presser, and I was like, "Holy shit, he laughs!" And we've done interviews with players, and Okello Witherspoon was in the room playing video games with him. He wasn't laughing then. You know, it was just he's a very laid back and reserved guy, and he was like laughing really hard on the microphone. I was pleasantly surprised. So. Yeah, I don't. Sorry about that. Me disappearing like that. I'm gonna bring Kev back. I see Kev got a signal back. Sorry about me disappearing like that. There's like 4 fire trucks and 6 cop cars and all in front of my house right now. I don't know what's going on.
What do you do, man?
I mean, somebody might have called. Somebody might have called the cops on me for the whooping that we put on the fucking neighbors today. No, all jokes aside, my wife said that they're going in my neighbor's house, so I'm not sure what's going on. But yeah, so it's not as long as they weren't coming here. You know, I've been in houses where one pulls up and backs up down the street, and then here they all come converging on you. But when I see the fire trucks, I know it's nothing like that. So I don't know what's going on.
All right, guys, look, I'm gonna hop off here while you guys talk, just so I can eat real quick. And then I don't want to eat on video. So if you're still going when I jump back in, I'll catch up with you guys.
Anthony does it all the time.
Yeah, but I'm not Anthony. He eats popcorn. I'm eating burgers, bro. I'm hungry.
We already told you. Yo, Nick had.
Well, they're eating bingo burgers.
Look, this is Anthony when he eats. He's like,
It's popcorn. It's good. You need your mid-game meal.
It's like he doesn't want to stick it in his mouth. It's like
Anthony eats one kernel at a time, fast as shit though. Like
that's what I'm saying. It's like this.
He tries to act like he's not opening his mouth. He's like this. But we saw Nick with the crazy angle. Nick had the whole camera on his face while he was eating.
When? Today?
Yeah, when I first pulled you on.
Oh, my bad. Bro, I'm starving, man.
It's all good, man. Go ahead, go do what you got to do. Bro.
We'll see you in a little bit.
Yeah,
I'll check back in.
With you. All right, man. My dude, man, this is a lot of fun. All right, Mike is back. Now we go back to the quad box here. Much like what you see when you guys go to red zone. You know what I'm saying? Guys, 49ers whooped ass. Let me ask you guys this question, man. We saw the offense, what it looked like today. Is the Bengals defense respectable? Are we going to read too much into this? Does this change your outlook on the entire season? Like, what does this do for the grand scheme of things for you guys, today's game?
The Bengals defense is definitely no pushover. You got to admit, they're definitely no pushover. They have good playmakers on that defensive line like Atkins and Hubbard. They have pretty decent linebackers. They have good secondary players such as Bates, William Jackson, Drake Kirkpatrick. Hey, watch it. You're right. Drake Kirkpatrick is a little washed, but he's still a decent corner. No, this offense in Shanahan exposed the hell out of that Bengals defense today. And right now, through 2 weeks, it looks like that's going to be the way it's going to be the whole season. And I know I'm jumping the gun a little bit, but with it looking like Ben Roethlisberger is going to be out for some time, the door is open for the Niners to absolutely throttle the Steelers and absolutely really, really make a name for themselves. Someone earlier in the chat said, are the Niners a top 5 defense? I don't think they're top 5 defense, but they're already on the cusp of top 10, and it's going to happen. Right. It's going to happen fast.
All right. So here's the thing. When the NFL, I'm going to let everybody else answer that, but the top 10 thing really quick I want to comment on. When the NFL critiques or analyzes defenses, they do it based off of yards alone. And anytime you put up 35 plus on somebody, the opponent has to throw the ball. So they're going to get more yards on you. You start playing a little bit softer. You start giving up more stuff. So it's going to make us look a little worse than what we are. I'm not afraid to say that this team looks like they have a top 5 defense. I'm not afraid to say that. The running defense is really stout. We saw it all preseason. We saw it the first half of the Tampa game, but you could tell that the weather wore those guys down. Today we allowed 25 rushing yards. This is a top 5 run defense for damn sure. And our secondary looks pretty good because of the pass rush. So I'm not afraid to go out there on that limb and say, yeah, they're a top 5 defense. I don't have a problem with saying that. I'm overreacting. All right, but I want to get your guys' outlook on the entire season, man. Go ahead, fellas.
Well, look, let me just say right quick, man. Somebody said that the pass rush really wasn't there like that all game today. And we did have 4 sacks. And I will say, as far as sacks, yes, 4 is a good number. But what I was more impressed was they were crowding the pocket. They were crowding Dalton. You see what I'm saying? They was always in his face. And we're swarming. We're 11 hats to the ball. I mean, that's outstanding. You know what I'm saying? Then a lot of times, those were cover sacks too. Not so much pressure sacks, but cover sacks. And the pressure came behind that. So, I mean, hey, man, look, we can be top 5. You know, we only 2 games in, you know, but we can be top 5. But right now, man, I mean, shit, we look good, man. We do. You know, and that was without D Ford. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, for the most part.
And that's what Shanahan was talking about. For the first time in his time here, we have the ability to overcome some injuries. D Ford went down,
right,
and here comes Blair. You still got Bosa on the other side, and those boys are still getting after it. So, yeah.
And who was that who said in the group? I don't know if it was on Twitter or where I was at, MySpace somewhere. We're getting pressure. We're getting pressure with 4 pretty much all game.
Yeah, and it's not something we were doing before.
As a DC, if you got a blitz to get pressure, you're already losing.
Mm-hmm.
I agree, man.
So, I mean, I like what I'm seeing so far, man. Woo, boy, let's go. Let's go.
So, Mike, what about you, man? How does this change your outlook on the season, man? What are you feeling about your Niners? I know a lot of people came into the season like, oh, I'm hoping for 8-8. You know, I'm hoping that we win the Super Bowl, but I'll take 8-8. That's improvement. How you feeling right now, man?
That was my outlook. I'll be honest. 8-8, I felt like, that was a realistic outlook. But especially the defense. I feel like it's just a complete different unit that I saw last year and the last few years. The mentality that they have is just ferocious. I'm super hyped about it. The offense can still get better, even though they were really good today, which is exciting. This is really realistically with just a running game and a good defense. Wait till they open up the passing game, then this team could really be, filthy. So I'm pretty excited. We'll see. They have to take, care of business, especially if Roethlisberger's out next week. If they go home and they kind of have a letdown, that might change my thought. But right now, I'm pretty excited.
Well, if it weren't for us losing if it weren't for us losing Joe Staley, I would stand tall on my Niners going to the Super Bowl prediction. But this loss of Staley might, it could have some.
If it's on let's just hope for the best. Hopefully it's closer to 6 weeks, right? We have a bye week. We can get through the Steelers. And then it's only about 4 more weeks, right? You split those games, and then we're at what, 5-2? I'm feeling good about that. Staley comes back, and then we're rolling. So you just gotta hope for the best. Hopefully they bring in somebody, because I don't know if we have the right answer on the team, but I don't think they'll go after a big target like Trent Williams. I think it'll be a veteran, somebody that can kind of step in and be decent. But I think they have to bring in somebody.
Yeah, they got to bring in someone that they don't mind letting go of later on when Staley returns. And that's the thing. If you're going to trade, that's why I don't think it's going to be a trade. You're not going to give up a draft pick, because a draft pick is 4 years. Mm-hmm. You're not going to give up a draft pick for somebody that you plan on keeping for 7 or 8 games. I think they're going to hit the waiver wires hard. You know what I mean? Or, just looking for somebody. But there's a lot of linemen that are going down. You got to think about it. As much as we lost Staley, the Bengals lost 3 left. They lost 3 of them. We're not the only team that's going to be looking for somebody. I don't know. We might be forced to trade for somebody. We might be forced to. I'm going to go back and watch the game and see how the second half of the fourth quarter looked without Joe Staley. But it was a lot of running. There wasn't a lot of passing. So
it's tough to judge that last quarter just because they were running the ball.
Right.
What do you guys think will happen when Verrett is actually healthy and plays? Do you think Williams starts losing playing time?
I'll go first here, and then we'll give it to Kevin and then Anthony. I don't think so. And the only reason I say that is because, not that I think Williams is good. I've never seen Verrett play nickel. I know people say that he's done it before. I've never seen it. I'm not just going to assume that this guy can go over there and do that. So I think they brought him in to push Akello. I think it worked. I think Akello looks great. And I think that he's basically here as a reserve. When you get a guy who is injury prone like that, and he's injury prone, bro. When you get a guy who's like that,
for sure.
You changing phones, okay? When you get a guy who's injury prone like that, you don't just throw him out there as a starter and start depending on him. He's someone that, if his number's called, all right, great, come on in.
Well, they're currently doing that with Jimmy Ward, so you never say never, right?
Right. No, you're absolutely right.
So,
what do you think, Anthony?
I have no problem with Barrett being inactive until someone really slips up. If everything is working out and your DBs are playing well and there aren't really too many problems, I don't think K1 is going to really have a game again like today unless he really gets torched against the Steelers. But again, Roethlisberger looks like he's going to be out for the year. So that's going to be a lot of pressure taken off.
Wait, for the year?
For the year.
Yeah. From my own opinion, when he threw the ball the way he did, if you guys watch the injury, I've played and watched a lot of baseball. It looks like Tommy John. He looks like he tore his UCL with his throwing arm, which is
that's what people were saying.
Yeah.
I didn't see the play, so I didn't know what happened.
Yeah. It was a non-contact throwing injury. And when that happens in baseball, odds are it's a Tommy John, which is a torn UCL, which is a year-plus surgery. So, and it looks like that with Big Ben, too. But anyways, I'm sorry. Going back to it, if the defense is playing well and the defensive backs are doing their jobs and nothing's really happening too bad, I don't think anything should be changed. I would just let it go, let Barrett stay inactive, and if something happens, bring him in. Now, I'm not saying I don't want to see Barrett. I think he should get playing time at some point, but again, That's only if someone really slips up or if they don't feel confident in one of their guys. So it kind of depends. If Barrett does come back and Barrett is going to play, it honestly probably won't be more than 10 or 15 snaps. I really think it'll be that way.
Yeah.
And that's fine. Let him get eased back into the game and really get comfortable and see where it goes from there.
Yeah. I think he'll do 2 full weeks of practice before we see him out on the field. So just because he's healthy enough to go doesn't mean they're going to put him out there. These guys didn't play an entire preseason, and that goes for the comment. Same thing for Quan Williams. Quan Williams didn't play for an entire preseason either. I was surprised that they put him out there so quickly. Emmanuel Mosley was doing more than a serviceable job. He was doing really good. So I don't understand why they rushed to put Quan Williams back out there. I just didn't get it. But I want to get to this comment that I've had on the screen for a while now. There's $4.99 from Mark Espinoza. Thank you for the contribution, man. It says, can we take a minute to acknowledge a fact that we held both teams under 20 points and put up more than 30 points in each of those games? Guys, man, by C, by offense or D, the 49ers have been smacking ass, man. They really I picked that up on the spot just now. I just want you guys to know that. That was all off the dome right there. That was all off the dome. I might have to trademark that shit or something. But the 49ers have been doing some good stuff out there, man. And Mark is absolutely right, man. You know, we're getting it done by any means necessary. I'm liking what I'm seeing from this team, man. What is that, 41 today? And it was 31 the other day, right?
Yeah.
72? What is 72 divided by 2? 36?
36.
We averaging 36 points.
Take it. I'll definitely take it.
17 points on defense? Let's fucking go.
Let's bring this up, too. This is another big point also. Last week, it was the defense scoring points and getting the job done. And I think a lot of the expectation for this week was Jimmy G is going to take it easy again. He was probably not going to put up big numbers. Jimmy G looked really well. And he didn't throw for 300 yards, but he scored 3 touchdowns. And he made great throws. And he scored 21 points of offense. 18, if you don't count kicks. So the offense actually did their job. And the offense, again, did what they needed to do. So there's nothing more to say. Jimmy G looked awesome. The offense moved. The offense is humming. 36 points is no joke. And I didn't expect Jimmy G to put up numbers the way he did today. And unbelievable, guys.
You know what's crazy? That I'm comfortable saying that this team averages 36 points a game because Akello should have had a pick 6 today.
Yeah.
It was right there. Was it Akello? Yeah, it was Akello.
Yeah.
Pick 6 today. This team is looking like they should be averaging 2 interceptions and a pick 6 every game. It's crazy. Listen, now I know it was Andy Dalton. I know it was Jameis Winston. But
no, Andy Dalton's no pushover though. I know he's not a top quarterback, but he isn't bad either. Look what he did to Seattle. And I get it's a lot of overblowing for week 1, a lot of overreacting for week 1. But no matter what, Seattle's defense is still never a joke. They're still pretty damn good. And it looks like they didn't play that well again today. So maybe now it's different. But the fact that Andy Dalton was still able to put up some numbers against Seattle, and then you see what you said today, that a lot of his yards were just garbage time yards. If you really think about it, we held him under 300 yards.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Held him under 300 yards.
Yep.
That's no joke.
Yeah, and like I said, that bullshit tackling for that John Ross long touchdown, that right there was what, 50, 60 yards or some shit like that? It was crazy. So, you know, I mean, there's a lot of reasons as to why it happened. I mean, but it happened nonetheless. And we doing this on the road.
That's what I was going to say.
We haven't played a single home game yet, bro.
1989 was the last time we won two road games.
Let's go.
Winning on the road.
On the East
Winning
Coast.
on the road and back to back.
On the East Coast. I'm sorry. On the East Coast. Unbelievable.
But we get 8 games at home, right? Let's do this really quick, all right? And then we're going to get to this comment right here by Richard. Actually, Richard says 49ers #1 point differential in the NFC. Third, I think he meant NFL. Third place to Ravens and New England, which both teams happen to play the Dolphins already. Come on, guys.
The Dolphins.
Dolphins are giving 36 burgers out. Like, here you go. Just take 36 plus. Just take it and go.
I've never seen a team tank so obviously before, honestly. I can't remember a team. Even the Browns that went 0-16 didn't look that bad.
You watch basketball? because the 76ers did.
All right. Basketball, yes.
Oh, okay.
But no, it's football. NFL. I'm talking NFL here.
Yeah. No, I feel you, man. No, it's. I don't know why I thought they would show up and play today. I really did think
Me
they
too.
would.
Me too. Yeah.
They did for a half.
Yeah.
They did for a quarter.
A half of the series.
Damn, I was gonna look something up. What was I about to look up? Do you guys remember?
Oh,
What were we talking about before I read the point differential thing? Damn it.
point differential. Andy Dalton, 300 yards.
Oh, I know what it was. Good shit. Good job. I'm gonna pull up our schedule here. Right now, we have already gone through a fourth of our road games. We got 6 road games left. Right. I'm gonna read you guys our home games, and I want you guys to give me the worst case scenario of our record for these 8 home games. Worst case scenario. So be as critical as you can and try to find as many losses here as possible. All right. We play the Steelers at home.
Win.
We play the Browns at home.
Win.
We play the Panthers at home. They're 0-2, by the way. We play the Seahawks at home. We play the Cardinals at home. We play the Packers at home. We play the Falcons at home. And then the rest are division games also.
I mean, I say worst case, you go 500. That's very worst case. So that gives us 6 wins. This is the worst case scenario.
We're already at 6 wins.
Right. That's very worst scenario. I think it'll be more like 5 or 6 of those games.
You think we win?
The way they're playing, the crowd, the way they're going on the road, we're going to bring with the Nothing But Niners crew next week. You already know that. It's going to be the loudest it's ever been in the Levi Stadium. I promise you that. All gas, no break. But we're there. That's a dub. So, yeah. Worst case, 4-4, but I can see 5 or 6 wins.
I like it, man. I like it. Yeah, I can see us beating the Steelers, especially if what you guys are saying is true about this old Ben Roethlisberger thing. The Browns, we got to see him play tomorrow, but tonight. What is it? The Browns Monday or? Oh no, I got this. I got the things here. The Browns are the Browns are playing. Oh no, I thought the Browns were playing 2 Monday night games back to back, but no, never mind. They play this Monday night, and then 2 weeks from now they play us on Monday night. So we got to see how they look in this bounce back game. This is where they're supposed to get it right. If they look bad again, I'm going to take us in that. We play the Redskins on the road. I'm taking us on that one.
That's definitely a win. We're taking over that stadium again.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah, that's.
The Panthers, they don't really scare me right now with Cam Newton looking as bad as he does. I'm not really worried about the Panthers, honestly. Nothing about their defense scares me either.
Give me a fucking win in Seattle. Give me a win in Seattle, and then get me on the Overreaction show because it's going to be lit.
That's the last game of the season.
Week 17 is when Mike.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Watch that
Smash
flexed in. Watch it be flexed into prime time.
I can see it for sure. Yeah.
I don't know if they'll do it at that point because the Niners already be 15-0. So I don't know. I mean, that's basically 16-0 right there. So
now that's how you overreact right there. That's how you do it right there. That's how you do it. All right, man. This has been a lot of fun, guys. Is there anything else you guys want to touch on? I'm not trying to cut this short or anything like that. Were there any other takeaways that you guys want to mention before we wrap this thing up? Because we talked about Jimmy Garoppolo, and he looked really good. I can't wait to hear the Jimmy Garoppolo detractors try to downplay this performance or try to water it down what he did. Oh, well, he threw an interception. He threw 3 touchdowns. I'll take the 3-to-1 ratio any day of the week. Give it to me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Look at Patrick Mahomes threw how many interceptions last year? Was it something like 17 or something like that? But he threw like 51 touchdowns, right? It was something crazy. Like when you hear the 3-to-1 ratio, hold on, let me look up his numbers for last year.
I'll take one bad pass from Jimmy a game. He really I said I'll take one bad pass from him. As long as it's not in, crunch time or anything like that, I'll take one bad pass a game from him. I mean, today he looked great other than really a couple passes. He missed who did he miss? Deebo? The third down, I think it was. Someone. It was third down and he threw it late. I can't remember who he threw it to, but
Yeah, I know what you're
overall he looked good. I mean,
I still got to overreact about Robbie Gould's missed field goal, man. I mean, I wanted 44 points. I wanted 44 points.
The one takeaway for
12
me,
interceptions, 50 and 12. I'm sorry.
I don't know about you guys, but I've never felt this comfortable throughout a game. Like I never felt, like, oh man, we're not going to get this first down. How many times were they playing behind the sticks? Because I can't remember a whole lot. Maybe a few penalties, but besides that, they were rolling. They were marching down the field almost every single time they had the ball.
Yeah,
I was sitting calm, cool. Usually, this is why I don't go to the bar. Usually, I'm out there sweating, swearing, freaking jumping up and down. Today, I was chilling. I was having a drink. I was feeling good.
The worst thing is when I get nervous, I don't care if it's water in my cup. I grab it and I drink while I'm like trying to relax. Like I just keep drinking. Yep. If I'm at the bar, that's alcohol.
Yep.
And it's just such a bad mix, man. So I don't like being nervous during football games. So I completely get what you're saying, man. Yeah, it was. We were fucking good. I'm sorry, we were good.
It was a great game. I've never seen. This is the first game in this entire regime that the team looked good all around. This is the first time we haven't had anything seriously major to complain about or really point out that was a problem. Nothing really bad happened today at all. Well, obviously Staley's injury. But, I mean, just in terms of overall gameplay, nothing bad happened. I haven't heard I haven't even thought about that happening one time throughout this regime at all.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, I like it, man.
I mean, besides the concern with the O-line now, what do you guys think the biggest weakness of the 49ers is right now?
Aside from the offensive line, because I felt that was the biggest weakness even before.
Right. Besides that, going forward.
I'm going to step to the plate. I'm going to say the receiving unit. Look, I know it's really picky, but I mean, I want to see another receiver stand out really well. And I get Goodwin is more used on deep passes, trying to really stretch the field. But Deebo is the only guy to really have that all-around skill set that gets the job done and can really do everything. I want to see that from Pettis. I know we're not going to get it, but I want to see that from another receiver. Again, like I was talking about with Jalen Hurd, who can be just like Deebo. When he comes back, I want to see Hurd be that guy too, because we need to see more receivers really step up. And we had it today with Goodwin and Deebo, but I just want to see more guys be able to really be physical, really muscle guys, be bullies, and just play bully ball like Deebo did today. And I think that's what Hurd can do when he comes back. So it's a stretch, I know, but I'm going to say the receiving unit.
Yeah, that's a really good answer because you want to see some consistency out of those guys. Kendrick Bourne with the one catch today for 4 yards. It was a chain mover, but it was just the one catch. He was pretty quiet. Richie James, almost non-existent out there. You would like to see some consistency, but I'm not concerned with the corners. I really like our corners. I mean, and that's a lot coming from me. I like our corners. Did he just throw an interception in the end zone? Are you kidding me? Raiders are going to get smoked.
I told you.
Other than Mike saying other than offensive line, I'm not concerned about our quarterbacks. I'm not concerned. I tell you what, this is what I am concerned about. One injury to our running backs now, then I'll be worried. If we get an injury to the running backs, I'll be worried. I like our defensive line depth. I like our backups at linebacker. I like our corners. I like our safeties. I'm cool with our entire defense and a lot of the backups there. So I'm not concerned about that. It's probably running backs now. We're tapping the well here, and I like the three guys that we have. But you lose one of those guys, and all of a sudden it's a different ball game now. So yeah. I would probably have to go with running back.
Yeah, no, that's a good answer. Hopefully we can at least get through next week without any injury to that group, because hopefully, I don't know how long is Coleman out for.
Coleman he's not coming back until after the bye week, right?
Right. So if they can get through next week, give us a couple weeks. But I mean, I would agree with you. I mean, Shanahan's kind of shown that he can kind of throw back a lot of different guys back there and look kind of effective. So I agree with Anthony. It has to be the receivers.
Oh, I was just trying to give you a different group. That's
I hear
my answer.
Yeah.
1,000% is the wide receivers. I was just trying to come up with something different. That's all, for sure. Trying to look at these comments here. I don't think I missed anything. I'm not. No, I saw a question here. Do we trade for a tackle? We said already. It makes sense to do it because you have such a good season. You don't want to derail it. But at the same time, trading for a tackle means a long-term answer. And you have Staley in the contract for a couple of years, and you also have McGlinchey here for at least 4 more years. So it doesn't make sense to.
I could not to cut you off, but I could see a trade for a tackle in a situation that we trade a player for a player. So somebody that we don't necessarily need, like a Solomon Thomas, for average tackle that can kind of fill in.
So a team that has one on backup or something like that.
Yeah, like Jeremy Curley. It was Curley for who's the guy in the Lions that they traded for? I'm blanking on the name. But it was a player for a player. It was an average guy that kind of stepped in for a couple weeks. I could see it.
Okay.
Yeah, why not?
Not to throw out Solomon Thomas, but somebody like that. Do the Dolphins have anybody? Because that would be the easy team to throw.
Minka, man. Minka seems to be the big name that a lot of the Niners and personally want to go after. I would love it.
Him in the slot, there's your guy. So
yeah,
you want him out of there, boom. But I think, the offensive line is the bigger need at this point. So
yeah, it's not easy to trade for either. A lot of teams' asking prices are always really high with offensive line. Look what the Texans traded away for Tunsil, 2 firsts and a second. And I know they had Stills in it too, I believe. But either way, it's still a top offensive lineman. So it depends. Like Mike said, I think we'll search the waiver wires. But I don't know, man. I don't know. Come week 3, we'll have to see because they're going to be matching up against T.J. Watt. So it's going to be huge. It's going to be pretty big to see what happens at tackle.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think they should make a move pretty soon. Because that would give whoever comes in, 2 weeks. They wouldn't play until after the bye. Give them a little time to kind of work their way in. So I would expect some sort of move pretty soon within the next couple of days.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they just bring in Sam Young again. He's not that great, but he at least has experience playing. So maybe he could fill in a couple weeks. I'm not sure.
I thought Sam Young got picked up by somebody.
I know he was working out with somebody. I didn't see that he signed.
Oh, wait, hold on. Let me do some Googles really quick. 2019 information.
Oh God, Jonathan Martinez in the group chat just said Gary Gilliam is available, Mike.
Oh yeah,
big time deal.
Oh yeah, make it happen.
Mike's speechless for the first time in his life. Look at him.
I legit don't know what to say. Like there's that expression that beggars can't be choosers, and we might be begging right now, bro. It's crazy. We legit might be begging right now. We might have to go with Gary Gilliam. Oh no, Sam Young's still a free agent. Boom, there you go.
There he is.
According to his Wikipedia, Sam Young, currently a free agent in the NFL. That's what I'm talking about. 2019, he was with the San Francisco 49ers. So last thing listed on his oh yeah, Sam Young, baby, let's go.
Sam Young season.
Don't you dare say that G word to me again.
Anybody but him.
Yep. Oh yeah. All right, guys. This has been a lot of fun. I appreciate you guys jumping on here with me, man. You guys make sure you give us all follows on Twitter. I am 49ers Mike _NFL. My man Anthony in the middle is Perry _49ers. And my man Mike NY to the Bay. Make sure you spell that THA. All right. With the main page is nothing but 9 ERS. That is going to be good for your Twitter as well as your Snapchat. So make sure you give that a follow over there. Hit us up on the Facebook, Nothing But Niners, spelled all the way out. Make sure you stop by and you visit the website, www.nothingbutniners.com. And while you're there, check out the fan page where we put all the pictures of the faithful out there. If you guys want to submit some pictures to us, make sure you guys do so at the email, nbniners@nothingbutniners.com. And if it's your first time here on the YouTube page, we thank you guys for checking us out today. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Turn on your notifications so you know exactly when we go live for impromptu videos, folks. And that's going to do it for this episode of Overreacting, man. The 49ers are going 16-0. Fuck it. We're going 19-0. We're going 19. We're winning it all, man. We're winning it. We get to the playoffs. We're going to the Super Bowl. We're going to the Super Bowl. So, all right, guys. This was a lot of fun. Again, thank you guys for joining us here, man. Smash that like button. Where'd it go? No, wait, wrong one. Smash that like button. Smash it. Smash it. Let me smack it, girl. Let me stop. All right, let me get it out of here. All right, guys, prepare for glory, anticipate pain, but always remain faithful. We out of here.
Well, Niners.